In the evening, both of them were cultivating. Ning Ywan noticed the setting sun and remarked on it. She reflected on how she had heard from others that He Qingyang often skipped classes and wasn't serious about his training at Liushi Peak. However, what she witnessed that day was very different from the rumors. While cultivating, He Qingyang thought to himself that his body felt like a sponge. He believed that if he kept training at this pace, he would likely break through to the transformation realm in less than a month. He marveled at his own physique, amazed by its potential. Laughing loudly, He Qingyang thought about how his rapid progress would shock his classmates. He was confident they would be scared by his improvement, declaring to himself that he would outdo them all. Later that night, in their living place, He Qingyang felt uneasy. He thought to himself, afraid that he might turn into a dog that night. He worried about an illness that needed to be cured, fearing that he might die if it wasn't addressed. Noticing that Ning Ywan had returned, He Qingyang greeted her, saying, "Senior sister Ning, you are back." He then asked her what she had done that day and invited her to have some tea first. Ning Ywan revealed that she had observed him all day. After sunset, she had gone to the city to investigate further. Surprised, He Qingyang asked, "Observe me all day," and thought to himself that he hadn't noticed it at all. Ning Ywan mentioned that when she entered the inn yesterday, she sensed a faint demonic aura. However, she noted that the demonic aura was no longer present today. Qingyang thought to himself that she must have sensed his demonic aura the previous day. After he put on the demon suppression chain, the aura was suppressed, making it undetectable to her. He began to wonder if Ning Ywan might already know his true identity. Ywan speculated aloud that the aura she sensed could have been the lingering presence of a demon. This led her to decide to visit the city in search of any remaining traces of the demonic aura to find clues. She then stated that it was late and time to prepare for a bath and rest. Qingyang, feeling awkward, told her that since he was a man, they shouldn't share a room. He expressed concern about how uncomfortable it would be for her to bathe while he was present. Ning Ywan reminded him of his previous claim, where he had said he would defeat her and make her his wife. She questioned why he was acting so reserved now. Embarrassed, Qingyang explained that he had been young and impulsive at the time, speaking nonsense. He pleaded with her not to take his words seriously. Ywan murmured in response, acknowledging his claim as nonsense. However, she teased him further, asking what he would do if she insisted that he help her bathe that night. Qingyang's face turned red with embarrassment. Ywan then began undressing and instructed him, saying, "Junior brother, please fetch some hot water for me." After some time, He Qingyang prepared the bath by filling the tub with hot water. While Ning Ywan was undressing behind the curtain, Qingyang busied himself with his thoughts. Ning Ywan then entered the hot water tub. Qingyang, internally panicking, thought to himself, "Please don't turn into a dog. This woman is so unpredictable. One wrong move, and I could end up as dinner tonight." Breaking the silence, Ning Ywan asked Qingyang what he had been learning in the outer sect. Qingyang responded, explaining that the outer sect didn't teach much. Ywan acknowledged his statement and asked if he wanted to learn more, offering to teach him herself. Nervously, Qingyang, while sneaking a peek, pointed out that sect rules forbid private instruction of techniques. Ywan, catching him peeking, asked sharply, "Junior brother He, have you seen enough?" Embarrassed, Qingyang quickly apologized, admitting he got excited. Ywan calmly replied, clarifying that she wasn't privately instructing him. Instead, she stated her intention to ensure that he wouldn't hold her back during the upcoming capture of the criminal in a few days. She asked if he understood her reasoning. Qingyang reassured senior sister, saying not to worry. He explained that if anyone asked, he would simply claim he learned it from the scriptures in the Sutra Pavilion. Ywan responded, agreeing that it was the best solution. He Qingyang then noticed something alarming, his tail. Realizing the situation, he thought to himself, "I knew I might transform tonight." He Qingyang addressed senior sister Ning, stating that his stomach suddenly felt hungry. He decided to go out and get some noodles from a stall, advising her to continue soaking in the bath for a bit longer. Senior sister Ning reflected on this, thinking that despite being a cultivator for so many years, he still couldn't control his appetite. She sighed at the thought. He Qingyang rushed outside in a panic, thinking to himself that he needed to hurry and run away. Noticing the changes in his body, he exclaimed, "Oh no, this transformation is too fast, isn't it?" During his transformation, he jumped onto a building to escape. While running, Qingyang realized that he needed to investigate the original owner's identity and figure out how to control the transformation. He feared that if he were caught by senior sister Ning, his otherworldly journey would come to an end. Suddenly, Qingyang noticed a fragrant smell in the air. Curious and captivated, he began searching for the source of the smell and finally found it. To his surprise, he discovered it was grilled fish. Qingyang encountered a beautiful girl walking toward him, accompanied by a giant cat that stared directly at him. The girl exclaimed in surprise, "Oh, it's a little dog." She then addressed him, saying, "Hey there, little dog, are you hungry?" Qingyang was puzzled, wondering who she was calling. He looked around but soon realized the truth. Pointing at himself, he said, "I forgot I transformed into a dog." The girl confirmed, "It's you, little dog." She continued, "So it's a pet dog. It's so late. Don't wander around. If you get lost, your owner will be sad." Qingyang thought to himself, "This little girl is quite gentle." The girl handed him a grilled fish and said, "Eat up. It's already cooked." Grateful, Qingyang began eating the grilled fish. Suddenly he noticed the giant cat speaking. The cat said, "Little brother, my owner's grilled fish is delicious, isn't it? I warn you, eat and leave quickly." While still eating, Qingyang retorted, "Hey little cat, are you afraid I'll compete with you for affection?" Qingyang then added confidently, "I'm so cute, you must be feeling threatened, right?" The cat grew angry and snapped back, "I'm a spirit beast. What are you? How could I feel threatened?" The two of them began staring at each other intensely. The fat cat and Qingyang began fighting fiercely. The girl, alarmed by the commotion, pleaded with them, saying, "Stop! Don't fight anymore." Suddenly, the girl lost her balance and started falling. As she fell, her clothing got caught on a branch, causing her to fall further and come out of her clothes. Qingyang, stunned, looked toward her in shock. Before he could react further, the cat punched him in the face and shouted, "Don't look!" Qingyang was in tears after being scratched by a cat. A girl noticed his distress and commented on her own carelessness. Qingyang looked at her in amazement, marveling at her beauty but also finding her unexpectedly harsh. She stood up, adjusted her cloak, and mentioned how fortunate it was that she had brought it along on such a cold night. As Qingyang's nose started bleeding, the girl noticed and addressed him, calling him "little dog" and asking why he was having a nosebleed. Embarrassed, Qingyang attributed it to a rush of blood, thinking it was a sign of his youthful vigor. The girl, showing concern, wiped his face and remarked that the dry weather often causes nosebleeds. She suggested he drink more hot water once he returned home. Meanwhile, the fat cat, clearly annoyed, interjected and accused Qingyang of having improper thoughts about its owner. The cat declared its ownership of the girl and warned Qingyang to abandon any such ideas. Qingyang, unfazed, questioned what the cat could possibly do about it. The girl sighed, reflecting aloud about her home life and wondering how things were back there. Her melancholy thoughts seemed to echo Qingyang's own frustrations as he mentally dismissed his parents' lack of care for his feelings. Finally, Qingyang turned to the cat and asked, with curiosity, what exactly was wrong with its owner. The fat cat explained that the girl's parents, her master and madam, were forcing her into an arranged marriage with a young master from the beast-taming clan. Qingyang realized that the girl must be running away from the marriage and asked if that was the case. The cat confirmed it, describing the young master as extremely big and burly, someone who could crush a pig with his weight. However, the cat sighed and admitted that the girl couldn't truly escape since her parents could understand animal language and would eventually track her down. Suddenly, the girl noticed something moving behind her in the bushes. Qingyang recognized the figure and exclaimed, "Lord Yuehua." Ning Ywan, the person in the bushes, thought to herself and identified Qingyang as the same dog she had encountered before. She remarked mentally that dog must have been wandering the mountains during his absence. Ning Ywan resolved to leave her junior brother out in the cold that night. The girl turned to Ning Ywan and asked her who she was. Ning Ywan replied that when asking for someone's name, it's polite to introduce oneself first. The girl introduced herself as Qin Lianxin from the Qin Beast Taming clan, explaining that she was traveling with her spirit pets. She then asked for Ning Ywan's name in return. Ning Ywan introduced herself as someone from the Great Sky Realm, Liushi Peak, and gave her name. Qin Liangxin was shocked, recognizing him as Lord Yuehua, and expressed her excitement at meeting her in person. Qing Yang, observing her reaction, wondered if she was a fangirl. Qin Liangxin confessed that she had admired Ning Ywan, Lord Yuehua, for a long time and eagerly asked if she could get his autograph. Ning Ywan commented that Qing Yang was very cute and likely received many gifts from girls, playfully teasing him. Ning Ywan put a collar and rope around Qing Yang's neck, treating him like her pet. Ning Ywan mentioned that she had sensed a demonic energy nearby, which prompted her to patrol the area. However, realizing the energy was coming from Qin Liangxin's spirit beast, she assured her that it was not a problem. Ning Ywan stated that she knew the dog, Qing Yang, and would take him with her. Qin Liangxin, noticing that Ning Ywan was about to leave, asked if she was going somewhere. Ning Ywan replied that she was staying nearby at a place called the Flower Water House. Qin Liangxin immediately declared that she would accompany her as well. After settling Qin Liangxin, Ning Ywan returned to her room, carrying He Qing Yang, who was in his dog form. Qing Yang, feeling distressed, thought to himself while crying that he was about to be petted again. Ning Ywan remarked that since Qing Yang was present, she wouldn't allow junior brother He to disturb them that night. She added that she didn't think the demon thief would make an appearance that evening, and junior brother He would likely remain safe until the following morning. Hearing this, Qing Yang couldn't help but think, "Am I worse than a dog?" Ning Ywan complimented him, noting how soft his fur felt and how nice he smelled, unlike a typical stinky dog. Qing Yang, uncomfortable with her comments, thought to himself, "This is a bit perverted." Ning Ywan then offered to carry him to bed. She locked the door and informed him that she had also secured the windows, ensuring that junior brother He would know what to do upon returning. Qing Yang, now increasingly anxious, wondered in fear, "What the hell? If I turn back into a human in the morning, what will I do?" His panic deepened as he imagined an awkward scenario, questioning, "Why the hell are you naked? And in front of so many people?" At the same time, he silently resolved, "I don't want to die while crying." Ning Ywan placed him gently on the bed. Qing Yang, feeling something soft, couldn't help but comment, "So soft." He also noted how pleasant Ning Ywan smelled, but suddenly stopped himself thinking, "Wait, what am I doing?" Finally, Ning Ywan seemed to notice something. Ning Yiyuan looked at He Qing Yang in his dog form and remarked that she had initially thought he was just an abandoned little dog. However, she quickly realized he behaved like other dogs, enjoying things like licking people. He Qing Yang, still in his canine state, panicked internally. He realized he had been drawn to Ning Ywan's powerful spiritual aura and had acted impulsively. Thankfully, he was currently a dog, or else his actions might have led to serious consequences, possibly even death. The mere thought of her discovering his true identity one day terrified him. He couldn't begin to imagine what would happen if she found out he was actually the dog she'd been doting on. As Ning Ywan interacted with him, Qing Yang felt something soft in front of his face. Trying to rationalize the situation, he thought to himself, "What bad intentions could a little dog like me possibly have?" Besides, with her possessing a jade spiritual physique, even demons and devils wouldn't be able to resist getting close to her. Even ordinary cultivators would find it difficult. Qing Yang convinced himself he was the victim, blaming her spiritual energy for drawing him into this awkward situation. In a moment of flustered emotion, he hugged Ning Ywan while blushing and smiling, further confused by his own reactions. Ning Ywan then said that she needed to give him a name. She wondered aloud what to call him, noting that names were usually reserved for spirit pets. Playfully she asked, "Woof, woof, do you want to be my spirit pet?" Qing Yang, deep in thought, realized that agreeing to be her spirit pet could complicate things. If he accepted, how would he ever escape the mountain in the future? At the same time, Ning Yiyuan seemed to genuinely adore him in his dog form. Refusing her offer might disappoint her, which made his situation even more difficult to navigate. Ning Ywan glanced down, her voice soft but firm. "I understand. You're still young and don't want to leave your parents too soon," she said. It's okay. You can agree when you grow up. Becoming a spiritual pet means following the master for life, never seeing your parents again. Qingyang's thoughts churned. From the way you're reacting, it seems you don't have a master. He observed her carefully. Ning Ywan, cold and distant when dealing with people, seemed so different when interacting with animals. To them, her tone softened, her manner gentle. Senior sister Ning treats animals and humans completely differently, he thought. Ning Ywan turned to him again, her tone regaining its usual sharpness. Let's sleep. Tomorrow you need to teach junior brother he some techniques. I hope he learns quickly. Qingyang watched her as she spoke, still lost in his thoughts. Her gaze is always guarded when looking at people, he reflected. Maybe I'm overthinking. Suddenly, a terrible realization struck him. He stiffened, his thoughts racing. Wait, this is bad. I got distracted by her gentle demeanor. His eyes darted to the locked door. The door is locked, and I'm being held here. If I turn back into a naked man on her bed in the morning, I'm dead. Panic set in. He tried to calm himself only to remember, I can't break senior sister's techniques yet, and I can't get out of the room. His heart sank. Oh God, what kind of hellish joke is this? Despair washed over him as he clutched his head. Someone save me. Help. Wasn't I supposed to die by the sword half a year ago? He groaned internally. Forget half a year. My journey in this other world will end tomorrow morning, after a few hours. Qingyang was struggling to fall asleep. He glanced at Ning Ywan, who was already soundly asleep, and reflected on the situation, deciding that he needed to take action. He got off the bed with a clear thought in his mind. There was only one thing left for him to do: dig a hole. Outside, Qingyang, currently in a dog state, was trying to dig a hole to escape. While digging, he thought to himself, in just another hour, I should be able to dig my way out. However, he suddenly felt someone's presence behind him. Turning around, he saw Ning Ywan. She asked, Woof woof, what are you doing? Qingyang looked at her, tears welling up, and thought, how did she wake up? I tried so hard not to make too much noise. Now I can't explain this. Understanding his predicament, Ning Ywan said, I get it. Do you need me to let you out? I will help. Qingyang nodded, thinking, is it really that simple? Ning Ywan then used her technique to open the door and said, go. As soon as the door opened, Qingyang bolted outside at high speed. Ning Ywan watched him go, thinking, it seems you've been holding it in for a long time. She then returned to her bedroom. Suddenly, Ning Ywan noticed something unusual. Sensing a surge of demonic energy, she thought, there's demonic energy, and immediately rushed outside toward the source. Meanwhile, Qingyang, after escaping the boundaries of Zhaoyao County, sat behind a tree, panting. He sighed in relief and said, finally, I got out. However, he hesitated, thinking, if I transform back into a human now, it will be in the open. He added, still, this is better than being found dead in the morning. Qingyang decided to head to the demon market to get a change of clothes from the three Fox sisters. As he re-entered the city, he paused at the place he remembered as the entrance. I remember entering from here last time, he muttered. Where is the entrance gone? His mind flickered back to the fox demon's words. She had said, young master. Why are you asking such a question? We are all demons. We can naturally sense the demon market's presence. Your visit this time feels off. It's like you've forgotten many things, including the fact that the entrance to the demon market appears randomly. Qingyang frowned, piecing together her words. Miss Ding had also mentioned the demon market's unique nature. Although the human race and the demon race had superficially reconciled, there were still human cultivators who harbored deep hatred for demons. As such, the entrance to the demon market was never fixed in one location. It appeared randomly, though typically not far from its previous spot. Sighing, Qingyang murmured, I guess I'll have to search nearby. He began his search, scanning the surroundings for traces of demonic energy. Suddenly, he noticed a fox demon running away from something in a hurry. Curious, Qingyang followed her trail and saw her slip into what appeared to be a solid wall. Found it, he said under his breath, realization dawning upon him. The demon market's entrance. But just as he was about to step forward, he froze. A sense of familiarity prickled at his senses. His eyes widened as he recognized the approaching aura. Why is senior sister Ning's aura getting closer? Qingyang thought, his heart suddenly heavy with unease. Qingyang was in shock upon discovering that the figure he saw was indeed his senior sister. Hastily, he entered the demon market's entrance, exclaiming that he needed to escape. Meanwhile, Ning Ywan arrived at the same location and noticed that the demonic energy had suddenly disappeared. Suspicious, she deduced that there must be an entrance to the demon market nearby. Turning to leave, she muttered to herself in frustration, declaring that although the lucky beast escaped this time, she was determined to one day uncover the secrets of the demon market. In the demon realm, someone called out to Qingyang, addressing him as young master and inquiring about his activities for the day. The remark sparked laughter among those present. One person remarked that they didn't expect young Master He to also be so dashing. However, to everyone's astonishment, Qingyang found himself standing naked in the demon market, directly in front of a group of ladies. One of the women commented on how interesting young Master He was, while Qingyang, visibly embarrassed, hastily replied that he had something urgent to attend to. Internally, he was relieved that he had managed to reach the demon territory before transforming, as any further delay could have cost him his life. In his flustered state, Qingyang apologized to the ladies, saying he would speak with them later before hurriedly fleeing the scene. He eventually entered the fox demon's pavilion and called out to Miss Ding, pleading for her help.